Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, Astro-Numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, on this Wednesday, the 4th of June. Well, first of all, thank you very much for joining us this evening. I'm going to be taking birthdays, but before I do that, there's a couple of things I want to do. I got a comment about something I'm going to show you after, but let me get the sponsors in order. I do want to thank I do want to thank Nicholas Brooklyn, Monique for being a sponsor, celebrating over 51 years, no, over 50 years. I'm kind of moving it forward, but over 50 years in business. They're at 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York City. Also, Chenna, he had a birthday yesterday. Gemini 3 person. He is sponsoring U-Juice. And so if you want to sample and actually purchase his delicious juices, you should go to Levitt Store, LIVETSTORE .com, and you can order the juices. Also, Queen Bee with Numerologics. This is she did a two-parter on Malcolm X and other things, but she's very conscious about raising the community's mindset about the things that affect us and whatnot, but from a numerical perspective. So I thank her very much. And also she's going to be giving an offer, which I should be mentioning later on toward the end of the show. Also, I do want to thank King Simon. That's my buddy. He is having a three-parter. So you go to his Patreon. You see at the bottom is the www.patreon.com / King Simon Production. And he has a part 1 in June, part 2 in July, part 3 in August. So you have a lot to learn. And also Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly. And she is also sponsoring. And she also, for those of you who are into business, and in fact, she was on Numbers Matter this afternoon talking about numerology, astrology as it relates to businesses, conceptions, and incorporation birthdays. There was a lot to learn. But for those of you who do have a business or starting a business, and you want to look at it from a metaphysical perspective, just go to Kimberly, KIMBALEY.com and get it there. All right. Also, before I go on to, I'm going to let you know that Jazz Aphrodite is sponsoring a Numerology Institute starting in August. So we're going to be talking about that later on too. But right now, let me let you know that today is Wednesday all day long. It is the 4th of June, 25. The sun is in Gemini. The moon is in Libra. It's a 6 universal month, a 7 universal week, a 1 universal day. So for those of you who happen to be Leos, Aquarians, and Aries, or if you're born on the 1st, the 4th, 10th, the 13th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month, well, obviously this is a significant time for you. What I want to do is people have asked me, well, one or two people have said, well, remember when I played the 2025 forecast for the year about each of the months, I did explain, I did show April. I didn't do May, which I forgot. Somebody remind me, well, can I do something for what I said in June? And I think it was recorded back in November, December of last year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment and put this up on the screen and show you exactly what was said at that time. Let's see. Okay, here we go. It's about health, education, and the home. How can they improve their home? How can they rearrange their home? How can they better educate themselves? Now, see, people think, oh man, I got to go to school and take out a college loan. No. If all you got to do is read it. The beauty of this modern technology now, you don't have to really go to a school. You really don't have to take out a student or college loan. All you got to do is just get on the internet, Google what you need, or buy good books. Books about a dozen. I got a boatload of books. I got books. Well, I ain't going to talk about my book history, but I love to read. And so it would be to people's advantage to learn how to educate themselves more to develop their skill sets, encourage your children or loved ones to read, to learn, to be more proactive about taking themselves to the next level. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing. The first week is going to be more reflective, but it's in the second week of the 8th through the 14th of June, excuse me, where one really gets a chance to not only make some insteps, but it'll be a time probably to get a piece of property, deal with a will or legal documents and stuff like that. Travel is indicated, but it indicates maybe traveling to family reunions and things like that, going to weddings, going to graduation. It is the month of June, which is normally graduations, weddings, things of that nature, family reunions. And going into last week, they're going to find that they're going to be more independent in the way they think and reflect about the way the things they want to do. So the cities and countries in the news is going to be Dallas and Hartford and Kansas City and New Orleans and Bermuda and Paris, Honolulu and San Salvador, to name a few. And if a person happens to be under the sign of Taurus or Libra, or born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th, they will do well. They will prosper. Now, what about you? Alrighty, so there you have it for, oops, there you have it when I was explaining about, and that was done in November, December of 2025. But what I'm saying is this: each month we go through what is called a numerical phase. And this particular month, as I was explaining, is a 6 universal month. Why? Because if you add 2025 to the month in question, 9, which is the year, added to 6 equals 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6. So this is a 6 universal month. So what I'm going to do when I take your calls or responses, I'm going to tell you what your personal month is for June. Also some things that are going to be developing. That is really, really, really is the whole purpose. Well, don't forget their individual birthdays. I spoke in very general terms, but that's what I explained in my June newsletter. Okay. And so for those of you who don't have it, it is absolutely free to sign up. I do not sell your mailing list. If I've got something going on, that would be the only thing that's on there, not anybody's sponsors or anything of that nature. Um, and for those of you, because the way the format is sent to people's phones, most of them are sent to cell phones. You'll see that at the way it is, if you kind of scroll down, it'll be kind of hard to see the rest of the signs. But what happens is if you look at the top right, it says view in browser. Now, if you click view in browser, you will actually then open up, you can see the entire. So I think it stops at Leo. So then you've got Virgo and the rest of the signs to deal with. So let's say you miss that part at the upper top right, then you see that at the bottom left, it will tell you about to view the entire message. So if you either go to the top or go to the bottom and click on view it in the browser or view the entire message, it'll open up and you can see it. And at the bottom of each of the signs where I'll give the best stage, stress stage, you will see a link that taps you into the show. So this way you can get a month by month description. And this is the recording that we did for the month of June, this month. That was recorded somewhere in the last week of May. So this is how it is done. So whether you want to hear the forecast for June or read about it, and this way you have the opportunity to either choice. Okay, reading is different, or I should say the way I write and the way I speak are it's like two different languages. But for those of you who understand it, it's totally different. Most people think they write like they speak or speak like they write. No, as a rule, there are two sets of rules when you're communicating like that. So what I want to do is I want to go to the comment section, and I need to thank Empress. who moderates every single Wednesday without fail. I think she's been doing this. I've been doing this about a couple of years, and I think next month will make 3 years I've been doing this, I guess. Oh, and when I do the forecast, which I always forget, please like, share, and subscribe, okay? One day I'll start off with that, but I understand it helps the algorithms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, and let me start off by always thanking Melanated Brown, who is always one of the first on board to kind of like say hi or whatever the case is. And I know my show's about an hour. I'm thinking about maybe cutting it back, but there's so many people that respond, and I try to get to everybody as much as I can. So I really need the time. And by the way, any comments you got, any suggestions you got, please let me know. All righty. This is very, very important, because this way I have an idea about what you like, what I can focus in on. And like here she is right here. Quintella, I open up to start the open session based upon that. I thank her very, very much for giving me the idea, because I can't think of everything. I try though, but it's impossible to think of every single thing. So let me go back here, starting at the top here. So if you got a birthday, I'm going to tell you what your month is. What does it mean? Okay. Hi, Numerologists. And this is Empress Rel, my moderator for Wednesdays. And Chucktown, thank you. Northern North Carolina. Okay, Kim. That's very good. I have no idea where that is, like whether it's California or Oakland or whatever the case is. I need to get my map out and look what that section is. Okay, and to beautiful, brilliant universe, good evening to you as well. Okay. To like the video on the way in family. Well, that's because, see, we're in a 6, and 6 deals with family. Actually, when I called the 6, I referred to it in a general term as the romance and finance cycle. When we get to August, which is the number 8, I call that the finance and romance cycle. So in my experience, and you've asked most people who do readings, they're either about romance or finance or romance. It's almost seems as if the two go together. You know what I'm saying? And some of the sisters here used to say there is no romance without finance, whatever that might mean. Okay. But nonetheless, I do understand that. And so it's about relationships in home and family. And I do want to thank Oracle, because she will be my guest on this coming Monday. Oracle T is her name. And she's excellent. Birthday's on Monday. So yes, I'm going to have her on that day. Thanks to somebody who gave up their space. Again, I have so many nice viewers and people that, because I had another guest and they says, well, since you mentioned her birthday is on Monday, why don't you let her? And it's just nice. And it's interesting because Oracle is born on the 11th. 1 + 1 is 2. And the person that was gracious enough to say, let her have this space because it's her birthday, happens to be born on the 20th, and 2 + 0 is 2. So it's I guess it's how the numbers sync, I guess. And now Empress said they need 10 people to hit that button. I don't know how many people's in here. I've got to look at how to look at these statistics, all that stuff. But nonetheless, I would say that please, it sounds like it's no big deal. You don't have to give up no money. Just push the thumb button and whatnot. Okay. Okay, now, this is Cinematic Brothers. Blessings. I brought your book, paid for a 30-minute consultation. Their name is David from the Bronx. Birthday is August the 20th. Okay, in fact, the person who says let Oracle come in on Monday was born on August the 20th, okay? They are a 6 path with a 33-6, and they've been having this debate. Okay, well, let me say this to you. You happen to be in what is called a 1 personal year this year. How did I do that? I see, in order to get the personal month, you need to have the personal year. You can't do it without it. Let me explain. To get the personal cycle that you all are in for each and every year, you take the month and day you're born, in this case, August the 20th, and then you add it to the year in question, which is now 2025. So mentally in my head, when I did 820 added to 2025, it adds up to a 1. So this person is in a 1 personal year. So now it's easy to get the month. So you add 1, the person's Cinematic Brothers personal year, to the 6th position month. 1 plus 6 is 7. So where the universal year for everyone is a 6 universal year, for Cinematic Brothers personally, he's in a 7 personal year, 7 personal month rather, because 1 plus the 6 calendar month is 7. So this is going to be a reflective time for you. Since it's in the first week, reflecting about your resources. In the second week, reflecting about focusing on dreams or manifesting or cutting your losses. It's actually going to be in the third week that you're going to have a chance to really step out on faith and do the things you want to. And I'd say the end of the month of June going into July should be the charm. And not only that, the period of late June into July is governed by the number 2, which is your birthday. And it also tells me, too, you either get along very, very well with women, you either work around a lot of women. And so women, I always joking when I see a number 2 guy, that women can be your blessing and your curse, all depending on how it goes, okay? Now, this is secretly gifted, okay? In a way, I kind of agree with it looking at the birthday. What happens is, to get the personal month, I need to get the personal year. So all of you can do it. And see, the beauty of what I love to do with this is, don't take my word for it. You can do the math yourself. You just get a pen and paper. And in this case, you take 12, this person's month, you take 4, and then you add it up the year, not the year she's born in, 2000. I don't know why I'm always, well, maybe majority of my clientele are women, but this person is, although they're born in 2000, you don't take that year, you substitute it for the year you have a question about, the year you want to know about. So if she wants to know about what's going to happen in 2033, I would say she's going to be in a 6 personal year, which will be somewhat challenging, but that's way up the road. But everything is cyclical, like the weather, like the seasons, like vegetations and fruits and things of that nature that we take for granted until a seasonal time. So this year, you happen to be in a 7 personal year. When I took December the 4th, added to 2029. So that means you are in a cycle that governs what I call the law of attraction, that whatever you're thinking will come to you. Whatever you desire, if you let go and let God, will come your way. It is not the cycle of attraction. Normally, this is when you go through some kind of spiritual introduction of some kind of reading, going back to church again, whatever the case is. But there's a kind of a more esoteric, spiritual, insightful, new age level that takes place. So when I add 7 to the 6th month of June, that gives me 13 or 4. So you happen to be in a 4 personal month. Now, here's the thing that makes it nice for me. If you notice you're born on the 4th day of the month, and you happen to be in a 4 personal month for the month of June. Now, here's where the paradox come in. So in a way, you might say, well, June normally isn't my best month. And there's a reason, because astrologically, the opposition sign to Sagittarius is Gemini, the period we're in right now. However, because you are in a 4 personal month that's in alignment with your birthday of the 4th day of the month, this particular opposition period may offset that, where it's not as bad. You could say, you know, normally I have some problems in June, but this June so far, it's pretty good. But nonetheless, your key numbers are the 4, 1, and 3, and your best days are always on a Sunday, followed by a Thursday. All righty. So thank you very, very much for that. Let's see what else. Okay. Yes. And I agree with Empress. The likes are free. Don't cost you nothing but a little thumb. That's it. Okay. What happened to the open session yesterday? Well, for those that logged in, they were able to join me. And I'm going to have another open session next month. I've got a date that escapes me right now, but I will let you know next week when the date is. And so all you got to do is join me. You sign in. You can ask all the questions you want without being rushed, without me trying to go through the list of people and things of that nature. Okay, let's see. We have Ashanda, who is born on February the 4th at 7 a.m. in the morning, which means your sun is sitting in the 12th house, the house of Pisces. Okay. Uh, and it's so interesting. And Pisces is known as the psychic sign. So that would be very good for you. But being an Aquarian 4, now here's the interesting thing about your birthday, Shonda. Each number has a natural place around the wheel of the calendar that's a natural home. The natural home for the number 4 is in the sign of Aquarius, followed by the sign of Leo, and then its exaltation in the sign of Gemini. So your number is naturally in its home, which is the sign of Aquarius. Of course, 4 is assigned to the sign of Aquarius. So it's like a double Aquarius energy. So it tells me as a rule, Shonda, that you would like to be weird, odd, different, and not weird in a bad way or odd in a bad way. It's just that 4s are, as a rule, unconventional. They normally don't do things the way everybody do them. They have their own way, their own style of how they make things happen. This is why I call 4 the number of secret enemies brought by jealousy and misunderstandings and envy and all these other things. And normally I notice to a 4 who's in the work environment, they're always in a puzzle. They're baffled about, I don't know why they're hating on me. I'm just trying to handle my business. But that is a part of it. But this particular year, you happen to be in the 6th personal year. Now, what do I mean? First of all, I took the month and day you're born, February the 4th, and added it to 2025. Well, these 3 factors of the month, the day, and the year I want to know about right now adds up to a 6. So you happen to be in a 6th personal year. Now, here's the thing. One of your major opposition numbers to the sign of Aquarius and the number 4 is the 6. So if you find this year a bit more challenging than you need, I would say that's about right. The saving grace is your best months are always in February, June, July, and August, as well as September. So this particular month of June is supposed to be very good for you. You will find that if I add 6 plus the 6 calendar month, that would be a 3. So that means this month, you have to be careful of overextending yourself, boasting. It deals with rumors and gossips and scandals and legal and semi-legal matters. And so you should not overextend yourself now. Next month, when you are in the month of July, you'll be in a 4 personal month, which is then you'll find you're back in your element in July and August. So I would say if you have any kind of breathing room, it's definitely going to be around late June into July into August. Okay. But your key or angelic numbers are always the 4, the 1, and the 5. Thank you. Alrighty. Shonda, let's see. That's 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So your name adds up to a 19 in my head. I'm adding this in. It tells me you don't take orders well. You need to have your own business. And it tells me one of your parents was either a Leo, an Aquarius, or Aries, or born on a date that adds up to the 1 or the 4. Alrighty. So this person, Miss Squeaky, 71, says crazy year for them. Their birthday is 2/21/71. So they are a Pisces 3 person. Okay. It's interesting to me. See, once you know your numbers, and people always ask me what their lucky numbers are, but they never ask me what is my stress numbers, which is why I developed the app. So if you downloaded the Star 8 app on your phone, whether Android or iPhone, you'll see that your key numbers are in green. Your challenging numbers are in red. Well, one of the main challenging numbers to the number 3 is the number 5. And through no fault of your own, Miss Squeaky, you happen to be in a 5 personal year. How did I do it? Simple. I took February the 21st, but instead of the year you're born, I substituted it, and in its place, I put 2025. Well, those 3 factors of the month, the day, and the present year now adds up to a 5. Now, 5 is that midway point. You know how you got the alpha and the omega? Well, in dead center of these alpha and omega, this is where you are. This is why they call the number 5 cycle the pivotal cycle, where you pivot, where you shift, where you kind of step off center to do things that are totally different. It is ruled by the element of air, although you have a fire number with a water sign, but it does mean that this year is to take advantage of all travel opportunities, possibilities, whatever the case is, promote yourself and whatnot. And see, although 5 is the opposition number to the 3, they are very more similar than dissimilar. But here's the thing: 3s and 5s are known to be popular, very well liked. Okay, so that's it. 3s and 5s also got good people skills, because everybody can't get along with people. You got some people that's just like, kind of like rough around the edges. But 3s and 5s are very, very similar. And here's where the catch comes in, where the rub comes in, is that 3 deals with emotional upsets and 5 deals with mental irritability. So I explain, when a 3 and a 5 are having a bad hair day or a bad day at the same time, there's normally some problems or stress. So as long as you understand that, you would do well. But it does mean you should have a chance to travel. This should be considered a turning point in your life. And it always means changes for the better in relationships, in health, in finances, in environments, in the home, in career, wherever aspect you're looking to make some changes for the better, this year presents itself. So now that I know you're in a 5 personal year, I say, okay, well, what about your month? So 5 added to the 6 calendar month of June makes it an 11 or 2. Now, 11 or 2, and again, all this is in my head. Normally, when I'm looking for a master number, I write it down because I have my own way of figuring out whether it is or not. But let's say it's the master number. That means that this is a very visionary month for you that you're in. And although June is normally problematic, it won't be as such, as it means take your time, watch your diet, your eating habits. There's going to be some transitions at either workplace, around the home, or even around the diet. But your birthday next month, not your birthday, but next month, when I add 5 to the 7th calendar month of July, you'll be in a 12 or 3. And since you're born on the 21st as a 3, that will be more to your liking. But your key numbers are the 3, 6, and 9, which is your artistic or creative or imaginative chord. And I think Nina Simone is born on this day too. Okay. And Barbara Jordan too, the famous politician back in the 80s, I think, was born on this day. Malcolm X was assassinated on this day. Little things like that. But anyway, so your key numbers are the 3, 6, and 9. Your best days are Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday. All righty. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Can I read your daughter, Milana, September the 20th? Any tips? Yes. First of all, when I took her month and date of birth, it adds up to a 2. The beautiful part is anytime your personal year is matching your date of birth, in this case, her daughter is born on the 20th. She happens to be in a 2 personal year. That proves to be a very significant development in that year. Okay. 2 always requires a degree of patience and understanding and kindness and caring and sharing and consideration. It's a show of sympathy and empathy to be able to get in and step inside somebody's shoes and feel their kind of like discomforts or challenges or whatever they're going through. 2 also indicates a change. Normally, it's a transitional. There are 3 changes normally in a 2 cycle year, as your daughter is. 1 is a change in the home, rearranging the home, rearranging the apartment, change at the workplace if she's working, a new supervisor, new workstation, new whatever the case may be, and changing some of the relationships, because 2s are normally about mending fences. They are your peacemakers. They are your negotiators. They are your tacticians. They are your statisticians. Normally, when a person is going through a 2 cycle like your daughter, there might be a change in the diet, because if you look how the number 2 is written on a piece of paper, it's almost symbolically shaped like the intestines of the stomach. So if your daughter is being more conscious of her eating habits or dietary laws, or saying, I want to leave this alone, I want to eat less of this or that and cut back from sweets or whatever the case may be, that would not surprise me. But it simply means this is a cycle for them to take their time. Anytime I see a woman, especially going through a 2 cycle, I call it the Delilah cycle. That is just be so sweet, you're absolutely irresistible. Like I got daughters, right? When my daughters want something, they are so nice to me. They are so sweet to me. It makes it irresistible, okay? So I don't care how assertive. You can have a Leo too that's very assertive by nature, but if they're in a 2 cycle, the technique is to use the Delilah cycle. If it's not being deceptive, it's just a change of strategy. Like when any country go to war, yes, they go by air, they go by land, they go by sea. It all depends on what is required to meet their objective. So in a 2 cycle year, like your daughter, I would tell her to be sweet, to be kind, and it don't mean to be a pushover. Don't get it like that. It just simply means to be non-resistant. That's how, and the reason why I call it the Delilah effect, taken from the allegory of Samson in the Bible, with all his strength, with all his power, with God on his side, and this, that, and the other. The Pope, when he went out there and sent little old Delilah up in there, looking good, smelling good. She didn't have no knife, no gun, but she just had that charm about her that seduced him. And the rest, as we know, is biblical history, as they say. All right. So that's all I'm saying. That the more charming she is, the more doors are likely to open up to her. But her key numbers are always the 2, 7, and 5. And her best days are always on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday in that order. Okay, tips motivating a teenager. Yes, well, I'll tell you this. Since she is in a 2 personal year, this would be a good year for her to get into dance, theater, acting, drama, painting, anything that expresses your artistic side. And if she's going to school for the summer, to get into a STEM program, you know what I'm saying? To learn coding and computers, because number 2 deals with technology, engineering, and mechanical, mathematical sciences, technology, counseling, social work, masters, all that. It's a lot. It's a lot. But her numbers are the 2, 7, and 5. Okay. All righty. So this is Kim from the Bay Area of Northern California. Okay. Thank you. 1 hour south of San Francisco. I understand San Francisco is very expensive too. Ain't because there's the bridge out there. It's just very expensive. Okay. Now, Blissfully Evolving, their birthday is August the 22nd. Her mom is September the 29th. Her dad is May the 24th. Okay. Never got a chance to meet dad. Okay. You know what's interesting? I says they're all, we all have numbers, and then we have the polar opposite of that number. Well, the opposition number to the number 4, yours, Blissfully Evolving, 2 plus 2 is 4, is the number 6, which is your father. Okay. So I would have said that and then when I read clients, if I see the birthday of my clients in off center with any of their parents, I'll say, well, more than likely you may have had a challenge with this particular parent or that one. Not that they mean to. It's just that the numbers are not kind of on the same page. And in this case, and so it makes it's so, she says in a very interesting way, never got a chance to meet her dad. Yeah, let me tell you this, your dad was probably a good-looking man. Not going to call him a player, but he was good-looking, always got along with women. Women were very important in his life, from his mother to his sister to his girlfriend to your mother, okay? The only thing about 6 men sometimes is they have control issues. And if you talk to your mom, she may have said that may have been one of the points of it. So your mom's numbers, though, are the 2, 7, and 6. But your dad's numbers is the 6 first, followed by the 5, followed by the 9. So you would have more of an interchangeable ability with your mother, because your number 22 is ruled by the sun. Your numbers are ruled by the sun. Your mother's numbers are ruled by the moon. Your father's numbers are ruled by Venus, because each number is governed by a planet, which is how I'm able to make these statements, which is how I'm able to interact with astrologers and things of that nature too. So it tells me your mother was sweet, kind, sensitive, very protective, very detailed, huggable, lovable. And it's interesting because you were born in 1958, the year of the 5, which is the Gemini, which is your father's birthday sign. All righty. And so it tells me if that's the case, August, September, October, November, you conceived around November, which is probably about a month and a half after your mother's birthday in 1957, which is the year of the four. Okay. So anyway, those are what I see there. But this year for you, you're in a 3 personal year. 3 added to the 6 calendar month is a 9, which means endings and letting go. And it also means, so the second week from the 8th to the 14th is going to be a little delicate. I try not to kind of like rock the boat and stuff like that. And it's going to be, especially around the 3rd going into the 4th week, that'll be best for you in that particular sense. But you happen to be in a 3 personal year. And again, how I got it was I took the month and day you born, added to the year 2025. And I like this, folks, because you got to understand whatever milestone it was, if you can remember that year, all you got to do is take your month and date of birth, and it will tell you what cycle you're going through. And everything is cyclical, like the weather, like the seasons, okay? Like life is cyclical. We come and we arrive and we go. That's the wrap. That's how that works. Okay, so this is Herb, who is January the 19th of 1976, a Capricorn, born in the year of the dragon. Now, okay, Herb, let me say this to you. You said you're born in the year of the dragon. That means to me, because you must have been, because you actually entered the dragon in the dragon year entered in February of 1975. Here's why I'm saying it. You're Capricorn. You say you're a dragon. Well, in Chinese astrology, there are 2 things to take notice of. It always starts in the sign of Aquarius, and it always starts in a new moon. Capricorn was not in the sign of Aquarius then. So that tells me that the dragon year, 1975, must have been the year of the dragon. It started somewhere around late January, February, because it's always in the sign of Aquarius in the new moon. And so by the time you were born, if you waited about 2 or 3 more weeks, you might have been in the next sign, which I think is tiger or goat or whatever the case is. I don't know the sequence. But normally dragon people are very dynamic. You're born on the 19th, which is John H. Johnson that founded Ebony Magazine, Jet Magazine, and then he built an empire, okay? If you look at the gentleman that did Black Enterprise, Earl Graves, that's his birthday too. If you look at Dr. Leonard Jeffries, the famous Black historian up at City College here in New York City, that same day. I mean, a lot of famous people born on the day. It's not to be labored, but I'm saying that you come in a very nice circle of energy. And it tells me you don't take, well, Herb, you could have been a lawyer, doctor, scientist, entrepreneur, manager, supervisor, directors. Number ones don't take orders well. And when I look at your birthday, out of the 2, 4, 6, 7 numbers in your birthday, you've got 3 1s and 2 9s, and the leadership numbers are 1s and 9s. So I know you don't take orders well, sir, which is none of my business. But I'm saying that if you take orders, it tells me in no way, shape, or form are you a happy camper. All right. Also tells me you probably wear glasses because your right eye is sensitive more than your left eye. But you this year happen to be in a transitory year. So now, again, I'm doing this in my head. I don't know what it means. You're in an 11 cycle year, which means it's an elevated year for you, or a 2. So I'm just going to take just to keep it simple. Do I have my pen or something around? Let me see. Let me do something right quick. I can tell you whether you are in a master number 1 or 2. Okay, let's see. Okay, January 19th, and I add the year 2025. Okay, so that's 5, 4, 2. You happen to be an 11 personal year. See that? You happen to be an 11 personal year 4. So that means that this is a year to enter this year with an elevated consciousness, an elevated sense of awareness and purpose and dedication and focus, and have your intentions be exactly the same way. That's all I'm saying, Herb. But not only that, so when I say 2 added to the 6th position month, which is June, that's an 8. Now, 8 is a power number. It is symbolized symbolically when you read all these books on astrology about the number 8, money, power, authority, achievement, recognition, births, pregnancies, marriage, separation, divorce, ancestry. Okay. And so this would be a time for you to grow up. There's an excellent time to deal with legal matters. And it does indicate a trip is due your way in both the months of July and or August. Long distance in July, somewhere totally new in the month of August. And so actually this is a change of diet too. So who will help you this year will be Leos and Aquarians and Cancers or anybody born on a date that's a 2 and a 7. But that's it. By the way, basically though, your angelic numbers are the 1, 4, and 8, and your best days are always on a Sunday, a Tuesday, and a Saturday. All right. Okay, I like that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So this is Mo's 369, sending love and help to everybody. Yeah, thank you very, very much. Let me see. Okay. And please listen to Empress Rel, because sometimes there's a person that may gave their name about 4, 5, or 6 times. I can block it. I don't want to, but I can only read one person at a time. Anyway, this is Cassandra, going into the year of the 8, a life path. So, life path 8. And so what happens, they're born on April 21st. We'd love to know about an 8 year. First of all, you're not there yet, okay? What happens when I say you're not there yet, here's what I mean. The month, the day, and the year you're born is, you're absolutely right, adds up to an 8. The personal year you're in, though, is a 7. How did I do it? Simple. I took April the 21st, added to this year in question, 2025. That adds up to a 7 all day long. I mean, I would like to have an 8, but that's not going to happen until the year 2026. Okay. But right now, this is a very quiet, reflective, soul-searching, self-discovery. I need to be alone kind of year for you. This is a year where you need to kind of like lay back, make an assessment of what you want to do. And people in the 7th cycle normally go through a transition where they not just don't want to be bothered, but they're going deeper down the rabbit hole. Why did I do the things I do? Why did things happen this way? They're always trying to get to the bottom of a situation. That's why I call it secrets revealed, which most people think is always something dark or sinister. It's not. It means you may have a discovery. Because, for example, you're born on the 21st. That's a very creative number. So you could be a hard-nosed accountant, but basically, when you come home, you should get into the creative arts somewhere. And normally 3s have some connection with government, religion, or the arts. So let's say you're working for the government, federal, state, local, post office, municipality, whatever the case is, but you can come home and be creative, paint, draw, sing, dance, whatever the case is. And it tells me that when you were younger, you were old. When you got older, you were younger. And so you are young now, so you will definitely be attracting, well, you're still kind of young, but you're definitely going to start attracting more younger, and you attract people from different cultures too. So since you're in a 7 personal year, I add 7 to the 6th position month, and that adds up to a 4. So that means that this is a month where you got to get it together. Not only that, one of the challenging months for the number 3 is the month of June. And so with the 4, so if you have a sense of being boxed in or restrained or confined or having to go by some strict set of rules all of a sudden, that would make sense, okay? So that's how I see it for the month of June. But your key numbers are the 3, 9, and 6. You're born on the very first day of spring. Okay, those are your numbers. But you're not in an 8 year. You're not in an 8 until actually you start feeling the sense of the 8 around late September, October of this year. And the closer we begin to end this year of 2025, going into 2026, and the more you'll feel the energy of the 8. That's when you can really, as they say, kick it. Okay, no question. All right. Now, okay, Queen D, her baby's birthday is coming up on, what's today, the 4th, 5th, Friday. So we're going to say happy birthday to your daughter. Your daughter, tell Queen D, your daughter, trust me with this, your daughter is strikingly beautiful in her own way. When she was going to school, elementary school, when you went to, PTA meetings and all that stuff, they say, Miss D, we never had no problems out your daughter. She's a crowd pleaser, the teacher's pet at school. She has a great personality. She has a sense of stubbornness. in almost everything she likes. You'll never can afford it. She's not high maintenance. She just has great taste. And she will find as she gets into her womanness, which she is now looking at this as a young lady in her 20s, that whatever she buys will have some lasting effect. 6 women I noticed buy things of quality, things that are timeless. They not, in other words, they don't go out of style in a couple of years. They can have something in that wardrobe 10, 15 years, and it still holds up and makes them look good. Blue is the most dynamic color for the number 6. So whenever she's going on interview, she should wear a hint of blue in some part of her wardrobe or whatever the case is. And she would do well in real estate, banking, the arts, law, working for the government, any social environments and things like that. So she's wide open. And of all the people in my book, Numbers in You, that's available on Amazon, the people that tend to make the most money in this country are number 6s, like Floyd Mayweather, the boxer. I understand he makes millions upon millions of dollars. Steve Jobs, who founded Apple. J. Paul Getty, the famous oil magnate in his day. So if you're a 6, let me say Shaquille O'Neal, who's the number 6 that does extremely well from what I understand. So it's not that other signs can't make money, because in my book, I have a section on numerology and money. And my goal is that no matter what sign you are, from number 1 to the number 9, there's still millionaires and billionaires in your field. Okay. It's just the 6s tend to just stand out more. And yet we're in a full country. So that's correct. Oh, this is a correction, really? You could be right. Hold on. Let me see something here for June. Oracle says Wednesday is the 11th. Let me see. If so, that's even, because Wednesday is one of your days too. Let's see. He's due with June. Let me see. There's something. Oh, wow. Yeah. We have to make it Wednesday, not the 9th. 9 is not one of your numbers. So so I do stand correct, Oracle T. Thank you so much, dear, for letting me know. See, that's the beauty of doing shows like this, where they get a brother straight, okay? Because I said she would be on Monday, and no, 9 is not one of her best numbers, that's for sure. So I'll have to either come in myself or we do something, but no. So it'll be Wednesday. Oracle will be here, okay? Thank you, Oracle. Much appreciated. All righty. Okay. And to Numerologic says, happy early birthday. And by the way, it was Numerologics that I was going to have on that sacrificed it, because she's a number 2. And I thank her very, very much for exhibiting a selflessness and saying, let her come on her birthday. This is nice. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's why we're a family. Okay. What if you are in an 11 personal year? That tells me this is your year to, this is your year to elevate yourself. Very simple. Okay. You can do it like this. 2, if it's a 2, in a 2 year, things kind of be iffy and up in the air about these areas dealing with relationships and where you're working and things of that nature. But when you are functioning in a master number 11 year, that puts you on a whole nother frame of mind. And so it's about taking it to the next level, elevating yourself, being all the things that you want to be in that sense. You know what I'm saying? And so in this case, you will find now, if you were in a 2 personal year, that means cancers will dominate and influence you to a degree. But when you're in a master number 11, that means Leo and Aquarius and Cancer will be influential in your case. So for example, I'm an Aquarius, all right? So maybe this reading might help you in some way, okay? Or you get somebody else to help you, and they were a kind of a Leo or whatever the case is. But the point is that this is your year to take it to the next level. And also, since 1 + 1 is 2, that governs the stomach, also means be more attentive to your diet. This is when people become vegetarians, semi-vegetarians, are more particular about their eating habits and dietary laws. Okay, this is Neville Vibes, a long-time listener watching. Thank you, from Florida. They're born on the 12th of January, and I think I'm in a 4 personal year, and you are absolutely correct, the mundo. This is the birthday of Jeff Bezos. And he's been having some few problems this year too. See, let me tell you, the beauty of these numbers is I don't care how wealthy or how indigent you are, we are influenced by these numbers, but to greater or lesser degrees. And it's not bad. It's just to force one of your opposition numbers. First of all, how I do it is I establish what are your key numbers. In your case, Neville, your key numbers are always the 3, the 8, and the 6 in that order. So if you play the lottery, you played it anyway, because there's 6 ways to play a 3-digit number. If you play it any other way but the 3, the 8, and the 6, you'll get a piece of money, but you won't get all of it unless you play it straight. Well, just as you got numbers that are good for you, the numbers that stress you are the 4 and the 5. What does that mean? That means Sundays and Wednesdays are challenging. So let's say I was a demonic kind of numerologist because I ain't got nothing better to do with my life but make people miserable. I say, man, you need to go and set up that interview on a Sunday or Wednesday, okay? And when you go out that, get out that job after they curse you out, you be looking to put your hands around my neck, okay? And so also what it simply means is your challenging months almost always around late January into February, late May into June, late July into August, and late August into September. So right now we're in one of your opposition periods as a number 5 because you're late May into June. But you're in a 4 personal year, 4 added to the 6 calendar month, you're in a 6 personal month, which means now's the time to be a self-starter. And the best time is going to be the 3rd week, which would be from the 15th to the 21st. So around that 3rd Thursday or somewhere around the 21st, I'd expect you to get a break this month. Okay? Very ambitious. Yeah, Jeff Bezos, Russ Limbaugh, this guy, famous guy here on radio on Sirius XM. A lot of famous people, a lot of wealthy people are born on this day. So I hope you are part of that crew, Neville vibes, alrighty. But again, your numbers are the 3, the 8, and the 6. Okay, good. All right. Okay, let's see. This is Mrs. Neal. Their day is January 21st. Read it. I think I read you, or at least I read somebody on that day. So I'm just going to take your husband. Notice, this is interesting to me, and maybe you can confirm it before the show is over. What I look for is to see what do couples have in common or not. Well, the first thing I see is both you and your husband are water signs. You are a Pisces. He is a Scorpio. You are a mutable sign. He is a fixed sign. The second thing I notice is you're born on the 21st, which is a 3, and he's born on a 3. Okay? So that, you know what that tells me? That tells me y'all either kind of met on a Thursday, Friday, because, well, let me put it like this. Your key numbers are the 3, 6, and 9. His numbers are the 3, 9, and 6. It's in a different sequence, but you've got the same identical numbers, which is the same days, which is Thursday is common to the both of you. Your second best day is Friday. His second best day is Tuesday. Your third best day is Tuesday. His third best day is Friday. So what it tells me is this. That y'all either met around March, April, May, October, November, December, because these are the months that govern those set of numbers I rule. Y'all either met around those months, got engaged around those months, married around those months, conceived your children around those months, birthed your children around those months, got your car, got your home. Y'all are really in lockstep. And both of y'all can be stubborn too. And you know what? 3s love to talk. So here's what I would say about you and your husband, Miss Neal, which is none of my business. 3 people, I notice they both talking. And I'm looking at 3 people, and I've seen this in my experience. 3 people be talking. I'm trying to figure out who's listening because you're both talking. So I would say y'all can have a real talk fest in your household. And 3 loves entertainment. So I would say y'all are very entertaining. Y'all are a very popular couple coming up before y'all met. But then again, you said your ex-husband. See, I didn't see that ex over there. Okay, I just saw the husband. Well, he was your former husband, but I would say y'all have a lot more in common than anything. But it all depends on, now in your case, and y'all both going through the same personal year. You're both going, whether he is your ex or with you, y'all are both going through a 5 personal year, which is a year for change. And yet 5 is your major opposition number for you and your husband at the same time. So I would say if you talk to him, you find it very, very interesting. What is the connection between you? Y'all got the same numbers. In a different sequence, Yours is the 3, 6, and 9. His is the 3, 9, and 6. So y'all got the same month, same numbers, same days, same dates. That is what y'all got in common. All righty. So that's how I see that. Okay. Okay, let me see what we got next. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Ms. Neal. I enjoy these things. And I'm like curious. But you see, it's these kinds of things that I got. Thanks, Karen. I love my work too. I really love my work. I love what I do. And I guess my Aquarian nature is I love helping people. This is what counts. This is Fox Sinatra. Where we go. There we go. They are chat. So they're born on May the 29th of 78. Okay, at first I didn't get it. All right, May 29th of 78. So this past Thursday, I turned 47. What personal number is that for me, please? Well, it's interesting. 2 plus 9 is 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Well, 4 plus 7 is 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So that means this is going to be a very significant age for you, Fox, such it was at 2, at 11. I can tell you when. It was ages 2, 7, 11, 16, 20, 25, 29, 34. As long as these numbers keep adding up to a 2 or a 7, very significant year. And each of those years brought about some change, either residential, relationships, career-wise, or something of that nature. And it also indicates, too, as anytime I see a man, this is the same birthday as John F. Kennedy that's been in the news, President John F. Kennedy, the late one. Also, Maurice Bishop of the Caribbean Islands. A lot of other famous people are born on this day. But it tells me that women are your blessing and a curse to a degree. And it tells me this, too, Fox. Either you work around a lot of women, or you've had women supervisors, women bosses, or directors, or things of that nature. It tells me you like to dance, you like to collect things. It tells me there's a very sensitive side, but you would do a whiz in the mechanical, mathematical sciences, technology, engineering, computers, all those things that deals with the mechanical and mathematical turn of mind. You would do very well. An eye for detail, too. Your personal year is a 7, which I think is interesting. How did I get it? May the 29th added to 2025 is a 7 personal year. So happy belated birthday, by the way, which is last week. And so what it tells me, my friend, is that this is your year not to chase after things, but rather to think about what you want, let go, let God, because the 7th cycle, I call it the cycle of the law of attraction, which means whatever you're thinking, that's what you will magnetize to you. And that's the kind of year you happen to be in, my friend. So then when I look at the fact that you're in a 7 personal year, and I added to the month of June, 7 plus 6 is 13 or 4. So that tells me this particular month of June is going to put some kind of like brakes on situations. It also tells me it to be in your best interest not to loan out any money or borrow any money if possible, to make use of what you got, and do it that nature. But your breakout moment is going to be next month in July. July is one of your key months, and you will be in a 5 personal month, okay? And since you're born on May 29th, your key numbers are the 2, 7, and 5. So you'll be in not only one of your personal months for July, but you'll be in one of your best months, because each number is governed by a month, and the number 2's natural home is the month of July. And it tells me that think about your eating habits too. You probably cook better than your lady too. Okay, anyway, I thank you very much. So let me go down and see what's going on here. Hi, Sister Maya. These things are acting slow. I don't know what that is. Okay, hold on. I just want to see, before I take them on, I just want to make sure that if anybody made a donation, I want to acknowledge it. If you made a donation and I bypass you, I will talk about it Monday. That's what I've learned how to do. Okay, let's see something. Okay, Miss Z, remember about the husband? She's a 21 and he's November 9th. She says we met in February and got married in March. Why? Because March rules a number 3. Each month rules a number. So people think I'm good. No, the Most High is great. That's exactly why this earth don't spin off its axis. despite all this drama and all the people want to go to war. People don't understand. Don't mess with Mother Nature. Trust me. Okay. But this makes sense. Yes. Okay. And if you have children too, Ms. Zeal, more than likely they may have been born around March, April, May, October, November, December, or you actually conceived them in March, April, May, October, November, December. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just kind of curious there. Okay. Let me take a couple more. Okay. I'm looking at Mo 6. He says we need to have a kick it. You know what? Instead of an open session, I think the next one will be called Kick It with Lloyd Day or Kick It with Lloyd Day event. And so if you hear me change the flyer from a Q&A open session to ask me anything, it may be a Q&A open session, Kick It with Lloyd. Thank you. My kids with my star 8 hat, they says that's like having Lloyd in your pocket. So kids, get when you do. Okay. Anyway, let me see. And Queen D, you're more than welcome, and kiss that beautiful daughter of yours for May 6th on Friday for a happy birthday. Okay. All righty. Okay, so I think I've done everything. Okay, I'm going to go to Martine. Martine is, and there's another one this February the 3rd. I'm going to read this person, that one, then I'm going to have to sign up because I got too loud for Empress Rail, like she has nothing else to do. I would be so happy if you can please tell me about my birthday, which is 11/12. Okay. It simply means that you are a Scorpio 3 person. Here's the thing. If you are from another country, it is important you let me know. Your name, Martine, sounds like you might be from the Caribbean or outside the United States. And I say this to say this. Outside of the United States, like if, let's say she's from London, right? Or Nigeria, whatever. They put the date first, then the month second, which means she could be born on the 11th of December. Here, we put the month first and the date second, which means she could be born Scorpio November the 12th. So I'm going to play it both ways as a bit. If you're born on December the 11th, which I'm assuming just from the last name and whatnot, you might be from another part of the family, how they say it. It tells me you will be a Sagittarius 11, which means your key numbers will be the 2, 7, and 3, and Mondays and Thursdays and Fridays are your best days. However, if you're born in the States and you give your birthday as November 12th, that means your numbers are the 3, 6, and 9, and it means that Thursdays, Fridays, and Tuesdays will be your best days. No matter whether you're born on December the 11th or November the 12th, you're still in a 5 personal year. And regardless, one of the major opposition numbers, well, if you're born on the November the 12th, then that means simply that this will be somewhat of a challenging year, not to overextend yourself. That's all it means. 5s and 3s are very similar up to a point. So in that way, it's not as bad. If you are born on December the 11th, yes, you will be in a 5 personal year, but it wouldn't be as dramatic for you as such. But it would give you a chance to make some changes and opportunities of that nature. Okay. So that's what I see. Now, there's one more person I saw that I'm going to stop. Orby says she bought the book. Thank you so much for that. My book has been selling for a long time. It really has. And little did I know that I would publish a book and it would sell for 45 years. But it's a nice testament, not to me, but it's a testament to the accuracy of numbers. I mean, I'd like to get a whole lot of credit, like I'm the big dog and whatnot, but I know exactly who the blessings go to. It goes to the Most High and the order of numbers in this universe. Where is she? There was somebody I saw. All right. Okay, Teresa says she signed up for a year's subscription to a star 8, and it's very precise, and I love it. Thank you. All this is based upon numbers. So if you tell me your birthday, I could tell you whether you have a red star day, a green star day, 1, 2, double, 3, or triple green, stuff like that. Okay. I don't know where. Oh, here they are. This is Elaine. I wanted to make sure I saw this, and this will hit me. They're an Aquarius person, so they're air sign with a fire number. It also means their key numbers are the 3, the 4, and the 1. They happen to be in a 5 personal year because I took February the 3rd, added it to this year. It's a 5, which means change. 5 is somewhat challenging to the 3s, although they're both similar to a large degree. And it tells me since she's in a 5 personal year added to the 6 calendar month, 5 plus 6 will be 11 or 2, which means a year to a month for June to kind of be more conscious of her eating habits, dietary laws. Health-wise, it means the reproductive organs or sensitivities with the reproductive organs, female problems. But in July, which is somewhat new to her, she will be in a 3 personal year, which would be the 3 personal month, which would be more to her liking. So it tells me not only will she attract younger men, but she will attract long distance relationships and men from different cultures too, which is also none of my business. But with that, I'm going to wrap this up. So I will be back on the 9th. I'm going to look through those people I missed. I will kind of bring them up to date. And on Wednesday, where is she? Thanks, Oracle. I just knew you was going to be on Monday, but on Wednesday, the 11th. Okay, that's interesting. Here, essentially, I end on this. She says, what's the difference between age 47 and 74? Okay. In my book, I explain that under the numerology and thought reading, that the first number represents the foundation. So when they say life begins at 40, that's what I see here. When you in your 70s, that's the age of wisdom, understanding, knowledge, and things of that nature. So that's the difference. That's one of the reasons why they say why youth and wisdom don't go together. Okay, it's just that simple. So in this case, this person is in their 40s, beginning to build, begin to see the essence of their ways and things like that, and build something solid, secure for themselves, looking forward to retirement, 401ks, and other investment devices for savings. But then when they reach 70, at this point, it's about sharing wisdom and knowledge and having understanding that you didn't have. And again, that's why I said, I guess that's why youth and wisdom just don't go together. And so what the elders used to say, that's why youth was wasted on the young. That's because after you get to a certain age, you get all this understanding, but kicked in the butt of life and all these things. It's like, oh man, I wish I'd have known that when I was 10. I wish I'd known that when 16. I wish I knew that was 21. But that's how life goes. And my mother told me, you would get your turn. And I got to say this as I close. She never lied. I just didn't get it. Okay. Mom, tell me to come home at a certain time. I come home when I want to. And she'd be sitting up late and say, ma, so and so. When I had my kids, guess what? It was my turn. And when my kids have their kids, it's going to be their turn. And when their kids have their kids, it's going to be their turn. And I guess that's how the cycle of life goes, everyone. Okay. So with that, I want to thank each and every one of you very, very much. This has been a very enjoyable experience for me. And I do want to thank all my sponsors. And let me start at the top again, which is Nicholas Brooklyn at 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York City. They are the best. Go there. I defy you to go out that store without buying something. Actually going to buy more than one thing. When I go into the store, I always, even before I do my readings and stuff in the store, what I do is I buy all my stuff. I put it on the counter. So when I finish at the end of the day reading and talking to people, I just put all my stuff and Monique just hooks me up. God bless her. Then Chenna, whose birthday was yesterday, bless his soul, the founder of U-Juice. It's a beautiful Caribbean drink in 3 flavors. It's organic, no GMOs and all that stuff. Go to levittstore.com to order your juices. It was a hot day today in New York. So based upon that, you need to get some of these juices. I got some of mine in the oven chilling right now. The only thing I wish is the container was larger. The bottle was larger so I could really gulp it. But anyway, go to U-Juice. Go to Levitt Store, LIVETSTORE.com. All righty. And I do want to thank Numerologics Queen Bee with Numbers Matter. She had an excellent show today about numerology and astrology in business. Also, she is making a special offer that you can take advantage of. So for those of you who want to get an in-depth chart, in-depth write-up, our video consultation, and she is very, very detailed, okay? She is, hold on one second. Do this, good. She is the best, and she's offering a 50% discount. So please take full advantage. Alrighty, and you see the text numbers, some are keys to it, and you do that, and you will get there. So that's what she's offering up until the summer, I do believe. Alrighty, and next also, who else do we have on my sponsorship list? Is Brother King Simon. Now, this is my man right here. This is my main man, King Simon. So if they sound like I'm partial to him, yes, based upon what he's done for me and how much he's helped me, I'm going to always give the man his props, okay? But he is having a 3-part edition in the month of June, July, and August. And please support him by going to Patreon / King Simon Productions. All right, then Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly. She has Astro-Numerology Revealed. She has Weekly Wisdom. And also she's adding an additional service to her array of products and services, which is for businesses. So if you're thinking about opening up a business, starting a business, or already have a business, you should go to Kimberly, KIMBALEY.com. The consultation is complimentary, okay? So you ain't got to spend no money. Just it's all complimentary. It's on the house, and I mean she gets really into it. And then also Jazz Aphrodite, who is starting a institute beginning on the 10th of August. It's Numerology Mastery Institute. Okay, so she's going to be on the talk about it. It's going to be a 4-month course. It's going to be an intensive, which she always does. She's a number 2. So they go to all great details, all right? That's how they operate. And for those of you, whatever few books she has left, you need to get them. It's also an audio book, but you can also go to Jazz Aphrodite at the bottom to order your books. And the June newsletter is out. Please pick up your copy. So for those of you, because it comes into your phone it comes into your phone. The way it's built, if you go to the top right, it'll say, click on the browser. All right. And then that opens up where you can see all the signs. Other than that, they only give partial of it the way the format is written. Or if you miss it, go to the bottom of it. This is the bottom of it. And you'll see to the bottom left, it'll say view entire message. Click on that and it'll open up where you can see everything. All right. And so for those, if you notice, there's always a link at the bottom of each of the zodiac signs. So if you want to actually hear the forecast from me, Miss Kimberly, and myself, we do this every month. This is about the 18th month that we've done these forecasts, and they always get a nice response. But it's growing because of people's input. So any input you got that you want me to share with you to make life better, that would be great, okay? And of course, I thank each and every one of you. Also, you can pick up my app. It's a star 8. You can go to a star8.com or go to Apple or go to Android store, Play Store to download it. And one of the things I really don't promote that much is the fact that I have an audiobook that's available too. And this is the audiobook. Where is it? Come on. Okay, I've clicked on it. There it is. This audiobook where you can actually order it through a lot of these audio platforms and download it. So you don't want to read it, and I record it. It's in my voice too. And I also have a Numbers in You podcast. Okay. So for those that are around other parts of the country and other parts of the world, you can always hear some of the shows I've done in a podcast format. So I guess that's it. Because somebody says, Lloyd, you never promote your so-and-so and so-and-so. I don't think about all these things. Anyway, I like what I do. Anyway, I want all of you to have a blessed day. Great weekend. I'll see you on Monday the 9th, and I'll see Oracle on her birthday, as the sister got me straight, okay, on her birthday, Wednesday on June the 11th. All right. All of you have a nice day. Until then.